Well, come back to our channel. You felt it before. That weird tension, that moment when a woman lingers just a second too long in conversation, but won't quite make a move when she teases. You plays with her hair, holds eye contact. But the second you think she's interested, she pulls back, leaves. You second guessing, maybe she's just being nice, maybe she's just friendly. But here's the thing. Women rarely express attraction the way men do. We're not wired to not socially, not emotionally, and definitely not consciously. In fact, sometimes we're hiding it even from ourselves. And that's what we're breaking down today, the hidden psychology of why she wants you but won't admit it. Now, most guys assume attraction is black and white. If a woman likes you, she'll just say it. Right, if she flirts, she's into you. If she's distant, she's not. But the truth, it's not that simple. Women operate in subtext. It's all about what's left unsaid. The looks, the pauses, the tiny micro movements that reveal everything. But because most men are wired for direct logical communication, they miss these signs entirely, and then they either give up too soon, thinking she's not interested, or they push too hard, demanding clarity before she's even ready to admit her own feelings. So why does this happen? Why do women send mixed signals, hesitate or act distant even when they actually want you? It starts with something most people never think about, our evolutionary wiring. See, for thousands of years, women had to be selective about attraction. There was risk, social risk, emotional risk, even physical risk. Unlike men who could afford to be more impulsive, women had to choose carefully. They needed to test a man's confidence, consistency, and emotional strength before investing. And even though modern dating isn't about survival anymore, that wiring is still there. That's why attraction isn't always obvious. It's tested, it's played out in subtle behaviors designed to gauge whether a man is actually worth her time. So when a woman acts hot and cold, it's not always because she's uninterested. Sometimes she's just feeling it out, watching how you handle it. If you chase her too quickly, she'll pull away because you've made it too easy. But if you completely withdraw, she might let you go, because now she assumes you're not up for the challenge. The key is understanding the middle ground, the signals that reveal her interest before she's even aware of it herself. And here's where it gets interesting, because while women may verbally deny their attraction, their bodies always tell the truth. A woman's subconscious attraction cues are completely involuntary. She may think she's keeping her feelings in check, but her body will betray her every time. That's why the most powerful signs of attraction aren't found in what she says, but in what she does, without even realizing it. Maybe it's the way she mirrors your movements, crossing her legs, when you do, adjusting her posture to match yours. Maybe it's how her pupils dilate just slightly when she looks at you, or how she leans in just a little when you speak. And then there's touch. Oh, touch. Women don't just accidentally brush against a guy. They're not interested in if she's finding little excuses to close that gap, fixing a stray thread on your shirt, tapping your arm when she laughs, lingering a little longer than necessary. It's not random, it's instinct. But here's where most guys mess it up. Instead of recognizing these microsignals, they look for something bigger. A grand confession, an obvious green light. They wait for her to spell it out in neon letters. I like you. And when she doesn't, they either overcompensate, trying too hard to get an answer, or they completely miss their chance, assuming she's not interested at all. But here's the truth. Women won't admit their attraction outright because in most cases they don't have to. The ones who understand these signals, the men who pick up on them naturally without needing her to explain, those are the guys who win. So if you've ever been in that moment when you feel something but don't know if it's real, pay attention to what she's doing, not just what she's saying. And coming up next, we're going even deeper, because once you recognize these signals, the real question is, what do you do next? How do you respond in a way that makes her want you more, instead of scaring her off? Stick with me, because what I'm about to share might just change the way you see attraction forever. So now, the signs are there, the way she mirrors you, the way she lingers, the way her body betrays her even when her words don't. But once you recognize those signals, what's next? How do you respond in a way that makes her attraction stronger? instead of pushing her away. This is where most men get it wrong. Because the moment they pick up on a woman's subtle interest, their instinct is to either chase or seek validation. They try to lock it down, get an answer, make her admit it. But that's exactly the thing that kills attraction. See, women are drawn to certainty, confidence. A man who just knows, who doesn't need to be reassured that she's into him, because he can already tell. The moment you ask a woman if she's interested, you shift the dynamic. You put her in a position where she has to explain her feelings instead of feeling them. An attraction doesn't work like that. It's not logical, it's emotional. Oh, the second she has to think too hard about it, the magic starts to fade, so the secret you don't ask. You assume you lean into the moment instead of pulling back for clarity, because the reality is, most women aren't even fully aware of their attraction until they feel safe enough to surrender to it. And that's why holding space is so powerful. Instead of trying to define the connection too soon, you let it unfold. You let her sit in that tension. You let her be the one to chase you. This is why the push-pull dynamic is so intoxicating. Women don't just want a man who's interested in them. They want a man who intrigues them, someone who's present but unpredictable, engaged but not overly eager. A man who leaves just enough mystery to keep her coming back for more. And you know what's funny? The moment you stop seeking confirmation, the moment you stop needing her to admit she likes you, she starts showing it even more. That's why some of the most powerful attraction triggers come from how you handle space and silence. Let's say you're talking to a woman and you already feel the chemistry the moment she playfully teases you. Most guys would rush to keep the conversation going. Fill the gaps, do something to keep her attention. But the guy who understands attraction, psychology, he knows when to pause, when to lean back, when to let the silence stretch just enough to make her lean in. Because here's the thing, women feel the space when they feel the pull. If she is drawn to you and you create just a little bit of distance, she'll feel it and she'll naturally want to close that gap. That's why when a woman is testing you, when she playfully challenges you or says something like, "You probably say this to every girl," the worst thing you can do is overly explain. Instead, you just pause, give a small smirk, maybe tilt your head like you're considering what she said. Then, instead of defending yourself, you flip the script, only the interesting ones. And just like that, you've turned the tables. Instead of looking for her approval, you've made her seek yours. And this is the dynamic that keeps attraction alive. The dance, the unspoken tension, the moments where she's left wondering about you, just as much as you're wondering about her. Now, of course, there's a balance, because if you play too distant, too unavailable, she'll assume you're not interested and move on. But when you understand how to hold space, when you know exactly when to lean in and when to pull back, it creates an effect that's almost impossible to resist. And this is why so many women won't admit their attraction outright, because the unspoken tension is part of the attraction itself. Think about it. If she confesses too soon, the mystery is gone, the anticipation fades. That's why women sometimes hold back even when they know they like a guy, because deep down they want to feel the build-up, the moment when the energy is so strong she doesn't even need to say it because it's just obvious. And that's when she truly falls, not because you asked her to, not because you chased her, but because you created a space where she felt safe enough to surrender to the attraction. So if you ever catch yourself wondering, does she like me? Why won't she just admit it? Take a step back. Don't focus on her words. Focus on the signals, the energy, the pull. Because when a woman is truly drawn to you, she'll show it. Maybe not in words, maybe not in a way that's obvious at first. But if you're paying attention, if you know what to look for, you'll see it. You'll feel it. And when you do, don't ask. Don't overanalyze. Just own the moment. Because confidence, real, effortless confidence, is the thing that makes her attraction undeniable. And that is what separates the men she likes from the men she wants. If you got value from this hit, subscribe, and if you've ever had a woman send mixed signals, drop a comment. We want to hear your story. Until next time.